Restructure water with the sun. We all know that water is the elixir of life, the very essence of life itself. But when one contemplates this essence, that which makes up over 70% of our bodies, 70% of Earth as well, do we know how pure or not our drinking water is? The sad truth is that the water that we're taking in daily, be it tap or bottled, leaves a lot to be desired. In fact, many claim that our drinking water sources are virtually dead, thereby not giving us the nutrients we need for optimal health. And the writer, Alexis Brooks, writes, during my interview with ecologist and scientist David Sarita, we spoke of some amazing breakthroughs in water technologies utilizing the sound of the sun as a prime energetic source for restructuring our water. As they say, the proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the water. I tried this method for myself, restructuring water with, yes, the sound of the sun. I even came up with a rather rudimentary but effective way to test the structural changes in the water quality, and the results are nothing less than astonishing. First, I obtained a copy of the NASA recording of the sound of the sun. For information, all planets apparently emit their own unique frequency sound that in recent years science has been able to capture. You can get a copy of it in the link here. Second, after burning to CD, I played the sound on my stereo system with strong speakers. Make sure you use a decent speaker system, not computer speakers. The more powerful the speakers, the better. I then placed a glass, not plastic, of ordinary tap water in front of the speaker and played the sound for a minimum of 2 rounds. My version is about a minute long. Crank up the speakers as loud as possible so that the water will obtain the sound vibration. Note, you may also gain benefit from standing in front of the speakers as well. I've found that it produces a rather relaxing and harmonizing effect for me. Lastly, drink the water immediately. It's still unknown as to how long the water will hold the charge. David told me that he even restructured his smoothies with great benefit. Essentially, anything that has water content can potentially benefit from this incredible harmonizing sound. So the experiment, I wanted to see for myself if the sun's sound vibration was somehow structurally changing the water. I tried the following, and you can give this a go as well. Take a glass of ordinary tap water, place it on a table. Place a pendulum, any string or chain that's weighted at the bottom with either a crystal or a metal object will do. I use a copper weighted pendulum over the glass, keeping your hand as still as possible, and allow the pendulum to establish a movement, either clockwise, counterclockwise, or oscillation. This is a process called dowsing. Allow 30 seconds or so for the pendulum to move on its own. Keep in mind that it's strongly believed that it is our own natural internal mechanism that is establishing a resonance with that which you are seeking and thus causing the movement rather than the pendulum in and of itself. Once a movement is established, mine was about a 10-degree oscillation, allow it to settle into this movement about a minute and to be sure that this is a definitive motion. And now place your water in front of your speaker sound and play the sound of the sun recording at least 2 cycles, approximately 1 minute, 5 seconds each. If you recorded this longer, let it play through completely, although just a couple of minutes will do. Once the sound recording has finished, move the glass of water back on the table and repeat dowsing process. You should notice a distinct difference in the movement of the pendulum from the initial test prior to exposing the water to the sun sound. I stress should because I have only tried this experiment on my own and know of no one else who has done this except this exact process. And the results? After exposing the water to the sun sound and retrying the dowsing process, I saw a distinct difference in the movement. Prior to the sun sound, I got a definitive 10-degree oscillation, and after the sun sound, the pendulum gave me an equally definitive counterclockwise movement. And what's more, I tried this experiment on 5 different occasions and got the same exact results. This indicated to me that some change in the water quality was taking place after I exposed it to the sound of the sun. I was astonished. Additionally, I've noticed a drastic improvement in my houseplants that live in the room where I play the sun sound on a daily basis. According to Clemens University, water typically comprises up to 95% of the mass of growing plant tissues. Therefore, it's no surprise to me that this amazing harmonic sound would positively affect growing plants in the same way it seemingly has the ability to restructure water. And other applications, since being utterly convinced of the incredibly harmonic energies that the sound of the sun emits, I've used this method for watering and fertilizing my vegetable garden. I've noticed a marked improvement in the health of my plants and yield of my tomatoes, cucumbers, and squash. I've used this sun sound to charge crystals for meditation, and I've also used the sun sound charged crystal massage wand for my use in my reflexology for my feet, all with great results. The possibilities for the use of this harmonious energy source may just be endless. And she says, this is by Alex Brooks on Higher Journeys. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.